for this April the 27th, 2026, pre-election edition. Antigua Barbuda is going to the polls in 3 days. And what we're doing tonight is essentially giving a comparison or having a comparison made of both party campaigns. We would have already gone through the introductions. I would have laid out the manifesto, the Renaissance, which is the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party, the title of its manifesto and its campaign. And the United Progressive Party released its manifesto on the weekend. We went through all those details, so we won't bore you. All right, with that again, I want to get straight to it. And I want to ask, the first question I'll put is to Dr. Ray, who is a well-known supporter of the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party, which of course is seeking yet another term. In 1 minute, what is the core promise of your party's document? And what should a voter believe will be different in a new term?
Say that, you know.
All right, Dr. Ray, I think you're having some difficulty hearing us. Your internet connection doesn't appear to be the best. I'm not sure what I can do under these circumstances. Yeah. Jonathan, let me let you take that question. Yeah. Would you like for me to repeat it?
Yes, sure, no problem.
All right, no problem. The United Progressive Party would have released its manifesto on the weekend. All right. I think in my introduction, I would have described it, how it has been described to me from folks who would have seen it, is that it's a very succinct document. It tends to bullet point the major issues or the pillars as the party described it. And I'm kind of curious, well, first, before we get into the matter of policy and what will make a United Progressive Party government different, what was the thinking behind the style of manifesto that the party released? Jonathan, are you hearing me? Oh, wow, we're having all worlds of problems tonight. Hi, Jonathan.
I'm back. Can you hear me? Yes, I'm back.
All right. Would you like for me to repeat the question? Oh dear, this is not a very good viewing and listening experience for our listeners and viewers.
I think I got the gist of the question, Darren.
Yeah.
So
save me from my misery.
No problem. Good evening to you, Darren. Good evening to Dr. Ray. I hope you can hear me. Good evening to all your listeners and viewers, and good evening to Tariq, your tech support as well too. It's a pleasure to be here. It's been quite a while, Darren. I know I prefer to be more frequent with you and to have good civil discourse, even with members of, we would say, the opposing viewpoints. It's always great that in our political culture we can come together and have discussions quite peacefully and constructive on the way our nation is moving. And as you said, of course, the United Progressive Party would have recently launched its manifesto, the 2026 People's Platform, and it had 15 pillars, as you described, one government working for you. And that has been the theme of the campaign, government working for you. And we have, as you said, very succinctly laid out our main areas of focus. Of course, it is not everything that we plan to do is within that one document. Even as a Labour Party will tell you, not every single thing they plan to do is within their manifesto as well too. But that is a launching point. As we said, the 15 main pillars that will build a government that works for the people, that kind of administration upon. And I see Dr. Ray is back, so I want to give him a chance to give his introductory remarks, hopefully before he drops out as well too.
All right. Dr. Ray, you can hear me?
Hi.
You can hear us?
Can you hear me clearly now? I can hear you.
I can hear you clearly. Yes.
Good.
Why did the Labour Party, what does Renaissance mean? A lot of people are asking that question, Dr. Ray. What does Renaissance mean? I actually have a copy of the manifesto, Renaissance, a new era of progress and prosperity. I was afforded a hard copy. So tell me, what does that mean to you as a supporter of the party?
So the theme Renaissance, as you say, new era. This is not a slogan. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you. You go ahead. You go ahead, sir. You go ahead.
Okay. Because there's lots of static in the back. I don't know. So this is not a slogan
I know.
of vague change. It is a call to national renewal, building, tested leadership. It means that Antigua and Barbuda is not start over and is not standing still. It's that the nation has advanced on the ALP and is now ready to move forward to dignity, unity, creativity, and national confidence. So the Renaissance is more about more than just economics. It's about building a country that is wealthier, but also stronger in spirit, more modern, but also more grounded in identity, more prosperous, but also more just, more beautiful, and more self-assured. Two last paragraphs is about a nation whose people do not thrive, but flourish. It is about in which jobs expand, education rises, community strengthens, roads improve, water reaches homes, healthcare comes closer to the people, and the arts, sport, music, and culture are elevated as a part of national life. So the Renaissance is the next stage of Barbuda's journey, is the new era that this manifesto sets to build. That's yeah.
Right. Jonathan, let me ask you, why did the UPP opt to go the route it did with this mobile friendly, very succinct, as you've agreed? You agreed with my assessment. Why did the party take that particular route as opposed to the traditional manifesto that goes into detail about policy, contact with the people, as it's traditionally dubbed?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, Jonathan. Go ahead.
Hello, good evening. Oh,
Hi,
dear me.
Jonathan.
I am not hearing you again. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm going to step out and join back in because I'm not hearing you.
That's fine. That's fine. Dr. Ray, now that you appear to be a little clearer and you appear to be fine, Jonathan is having some difficulty. Tonight is not our night for some reason. Tonight is not our night. But we're giving thanks and we're grateful for the opportunity. And thank you so much for taking the time out to join us. Dr. Ray, I know you've been very busy. By the way, I know you've been here you've been on the ground for the last couple of days. Give us a sense of your feel that you've gotten from campaigning on the ground here in Antigua with the Labour Party.
First of all, a light moment. I hope that my dropping out several times says maybe we're going to drop out on Thursday. So that's just a light.
I know Mr. Wenner is going to hope otherwise, but go ahead.
So I hope we don't drop out. But anyway, my dropping out, not his. The feel on the ground, the thing is, people tell you what I guess you want to hear at times. But the feel on the ground that I've been getting or sourcing or soliciting, you can say, so to speak, in conversations, is there are, segments of the population that are choosing, some are choosing not to vote at all, and some are choosing to vote for the Labour Party. As a matter of fact, I find it. I'm actually at the campaign headquarters now, speaking to you in one of the conference rooms, where it's quiet because there's lots of activities happening here. Lots of them. People are training for the pageant. People are doing data collection. They're doing all kinds of things here, getting ready for the phone banks and so forth. So it's happening in this one space. I've been hearing that, and it's like a common trend now. I came here and I'm hearing people are saying that there are many I wouldn't say members, but supporters of the UP that are hoping to vote for the Labour Party for reasons that long-winded, but they're not too comfortable. I'm still hearing the comments, not too comfortable who the leader is at the moment. A lot of them are thinking about stability. I don't think a lot of them who are voting for the ALP are not necessarily in love with the prime minister, because that's what I'm hearing. They don't really like the prime minister. They're not crazy about it, but they still think that we're on a good trajectory in terms of the direction of the country. I asked one lady, why would you, as a UPP person, vote for the Labour Party? She said, listen, my kids are getting free education, CXCs are being paid, they now be able to go to UA5. Those are things that mean a lot to them. Because, in as much as we don't have roads, people still want to be elevated in terms of their physical, their status, personal status in life, in terms of their education. And if they can be educated, that can be amazing. So people see those things. Another thing I heard from more than one voter, or possibly, is that they have been receiving their salaries from government constantly, sometimes the 26th of the month. I understand this month they paid them the 22nd of the month. They're saying for the last 2 or 3 years, they've been paid on time, never late, not one day. And they're seeing that as stability. Even if it's not a whole lot of money, they're certainly going to get their payment every single month. And that's been happening for the last 2 or 3 years. Remember one in the UPP, sometimes for months they get paid on time, some months they get paid and so forth. Because when he said, you remember going into Canada, not having any money because they didn't pay, they couldn't afford to pay salary. And so those are things I think about, the stability of the financial status.
All right. If I may, we have Jonathan.
Yeah.
But
Jonathan, you can expert.
I want to give Jonathan an opportunity to respond to that.
Yes.
Jonathan, yes. I'm sure you want to tackle some of what Dr. Ray just said. I don't recall salaries being an issue during the tenure of the United Progressive Party. At least I don't remember. But then I'm also not a public servant, so I wasn't affected. But I don't remember that being an issue, as was the case during Lester's final years or final year.
Oh no,
right?
No.
But
the last 2 years, go ahead. Of the UPP, they could not pay salaries. That was one reason they lost it.
Jonathan, I know you want to respond to what Dr. Ray had to say. Sorry. Go ahead, Jonathan. You're smiling, so
yes.
I'm going to hush and let you tackle him.
Yeah, well, I won't tackle him. Dr. Ray is my good friend, and you never know, in the near future he might come home and see the light and vote for the Sun. So I wouldn't want to tackle him and hurt him on his way to vote for the UPP at the polling station. So as I was saying, I've been dropping in and out. So I didn't hear exactly the question you asked, Dr. Ray, but I would be able to respond to some of the assertions.
I was just asking him how the campaign is going so far.
Oh, okay.
His assessment of the campaign.
Okay, fair enough. And I completely understand that Dr. Ray has a job to do, as do I. So he's going to put a certain narrative and spin, as some would say, and twist to what he wants to get out to the public. However, I am also here to represent my party as well, too, and I will present the facts as we see them. Right. Now, as it relates to people getting their pay on time, citizens and residents of Antigua and Barbuda, it is not factual to say that there are no issues with persons receiving money that is from on time. That issues there, true. Because if you look at pensions, there are some individuals, believe it or not, who have been put on waiting lists once they've reached the age of retirement before they can start to get their pension. That's just a fact. When you've been paying into Social Security for so many years, you should be able to, once you reach the age of retirement, Darren and Dave, I'm sure we can all agree, we should be able to get the trust funds, which are ours, not government's, that we have been paying into on time. That's a basic thing. The next thing is back pay. Now, I know there's been a lot of hullabaloo and grandstanding and so on about accomplishments with paying off back pay, but there's still a persistent issue with individuals who have been owed back pay for many years, over a decade in some instances. and the government still has not been able to meet their obligations. One quick example, the Antigua and Barbuda, the Union has been in a constant struggle with this history, and the government keeps accusing the union of trying to mislead the public. I don't see why the Union of Teachers would want to mislead the public about its members receiving the back pay that is due to them. Now, that is another example where money owed to people is not being paid. Another example, Darren and Dave, even if you just look at the Labour Party manifesto, there is an admission that persons are not getting the money that is owed to them from the government. For example, the Labour Party has promised to float, I believe it was, I don't remember all the technical terms of it, but I'll just say it like this, a bond to pay the outstanding debt that the government has to service providers, small businesses, etc., who provide the government with goods and services. So if you're saying that you're going to try to find a new way to pay people, that means you owe people money. So to say that there are no issues with salaries, wages, fees, social security, etc., that are owed to people, that's just really and truly not true. And I understand doctor has a job to do, but I will also do my job and shine some sunshine into the areas where the torchlight is too weak to touch. But as we're discussing, Darren, going back to how the campaign is going specifically, because I want to focus on the UBP as well, to not just say what the government may be doing wrong.
Right.
The United Progressive Party has committed to be a government that works for the people. United Progressive is saying that we will do all in our power to ensure that monies that are owed to the people are paid, one, and two, we will also implement additional cost of living measures to ease the squeeze on the pockets of Antiguans and Barbudans across the board. Now, before I get into something, I like to make it good practice. Where I see good, I praise the good, Darren and Dave.
Yes.
Where I see bad, I'll call it out. So you don't, even though I wear the United Progressive Party crest proudly on my chest, no matter what the result is come April 30th, I will be able to still praise I will still be able to praise good or call out the bad. For example, UE5
Why put on your
amazing
hat
thing.
now? You see how he teasing you?
No, he has
He
a
put
right
on
to.
his hat.
Let me make the point. Darren. UE5 Islands. Hold on there, Dave. Hold on there, Dave. While my intent is good. Allow me, John. UE5 Islands is an amazing thing. I, as a product of UE, would never say anything disparaging or untoward about UE being in Antigua and Barbuda. And I hope that, as it has been with Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, etc., that we, as a government, are able to provide our people with free tertiary education. That is something that has been long-standing in other Caribbean islands. It would be great if we would provide it here as well too. And that is something that the United Progressive Party has no qualms, no ills about any government doing. So that is not up for debate whether you vote red or blue, if that will happen. That is something that is par for the course in our opinion. Education should not be a privilege, it should be a right to all. You know what else should be a right to all, Darren? And I just said I could praise the good, so when I call out the bad, please don't see it as partisan politics. Healthcare should be a right to all. Now, the United Progressive Party under the Baldwin administration is not perfect. No government is, Darren. No government is, Dave. However, we were able to open a cancer treatment center right here in Antigua and Barbuda. A cancer treatment center that not only treated locals, but treated persons within the OECS sub-region. And that's a significant shift. Just like bringing a university to your local shores is a massive uplifting of the quality and standard of living of your human resource of a nation, so is bringing a cancer treatment center to the nation. So persons would not have to fork out so much money to go overseas to South America, Colombia, and these places, to go to America, Canada, Europe, etc., to get cancer treatment, where healthcare is quite expensive. They can stay right at home, surrounded by their support system, their family and friends, who will take them through that difficult time and be there for them. That is what the United Progressive Party did, for example, in healthcare. And it is unfortunate to say, Darren, Dave, that you must admit, it is very unfortunate that a cancer treatment center, the first of its kind within the OECS region, opened by the Bowen-Spence administration, was allowed to close its doors under this Gaston-Brown administration. And you can't convince me, personally, the voters have to make up their mind. But after 12 years in office, And this term has not even technically run its constitutional course because you still had 700 plus more days. You had 12 years, 700 plus more days in this term, but you're asking for another 5 years on top of the 12 to fix problems that you could have fixed. Now, you can't blame everything on the United Progressive Party. See, everything with the UPP was bad, this and that, and everything was wrong in the country. You have had a greater length of time in office than the UPP did. So the same things you said the UPP did not address within the economy, within our socio-political, cultural fabric as a nation, you've had a longer time to address them. So what do you say now to the healthcare situation? What do you say now to all the clinics that are closed across the island, whether it be All Saints? You look at the Old Road Clinic. Dave, you had the Medicaid yesterday. I hope you passed the Old Road Clinic and you saw that the clinic there, the waiting room is a bus shed. The people of Old Road wait under a bus shed to receive primary health care in 2026 in Antigua and Barbuda. But at least the clinic is open because the All Saints Clinic has been closed for what, 3 years now? The Grays Farm Dental Clinic has been closed for God knows how long. And on top of the clinics being closed,
I've given you one more
several
minute,
stages of
Jonathan.
disrepair,
I've given you one more
that's
minute,
too
'cause I
long to
think-
get into all the clinics that are in poor disrepair.
Yeah.
No problem. Let me finish off the healthcare point. No
Okay.
problem. On top of clinics being closed and being in stage, right? The United Progressive Party, in its tenure as well, to just like education uplifts people, healthcare uplifts people's quality and standard of living, we open clinics in, and that is just only basic common sense because not everyone is at home or available to work, whatever they may be doing, to receive primary health care. So it is essential, it is necessary, not a want or desire, but essential for your people to access healthcare after work hours. So that needs to be immediate, and that needs to be something that happens immediately. And that's what we, the United Progressive Party, as a government that works for you, the people, will do forthwith as soon as taking office. And I hear
Oh, what happened? What happened? Okay, wait. What happened just now? Oh dear. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's see. Sorry, Jonathan, you got cut off there.
I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still there, but for something went wrong technically there.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, Dr. Ray, I'm not going to invite you to count everything that Jonathan just said because we'll be here till midnight. What I want to ask you, let's look at format or form and substance, or form versus substance. And I'm referring to the manifestos specifically. Now, your documents are very different in style. I've mentioned that already. One more traditional, that's the Labour Party manifesto, and the other more concise and pillar-based, all right, which is the United Progressive Party. Dr. Ray, why do you believe the party went with this particular approach and having a fairly, well, voluminous document? Granted, a lot of it is pictures, but still, it's still a wordy document. Why did the party go that route as opposed to, because these days, I'm sure a lot of people, they have it, they like to see the pictures and so, but they probably haven't read it in any detail. How would you respond to that?
So, I hope I'm going to get as much time. See, the triple my time speaking, just so you know that. I'm timing it, right?
Yes.
Let me start before I answer your question. The Cancer Center is a private entity. It was opened under the United Progressive Party, which is not a United Progressive Party venture. Let you know that. The Cancer Center has to do with the actual government. It is a private venture. As you know, it closed because the owners had their own financial, why they had to shut it down. It wasn't shut down by the government. To decommission those, machines or whatever you call it, it's a process. Am I being heard or being cut off?
Go ahead, Dave. We're hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay. So the point is, it was opened under the United Progressive Party, but it's not the United Progressive Party product. So for you to take pleasure in open the Cancer Center, it's not your cancer. It was a private venture. I just want to make that clear. Now, they're hoping to get it open again in June using another investor. The government, oh my gosh, screeching is really bothering me. My conversations with people at the medical bank is that it's actually cheaper you may not believe this, Darren, but it's cheaper to send to Colombia than what they were paying for the government to pay each patient at the cancer center here. What Medical Benefits is paying to the cancer center for each patient is way more than they're paying to go to Colombia. Colombia is just farther, plane ride and all that stuff. But it was actually working cheaper for them. So in the meantime, they're trying to get a new investor for this particular. They had to do what they had to do. Hopefully, they say by June, it should be reopened. That's what they say. We have to see what happens in June. If they read. So I'm not going to belabor that point too much. I just want the public to know that it's not a government venture. It's a private entity.
I understand.
A lot of people, the monies that have been allocated for teachers and so on, is sitting there. What's been happening is that some things not being worked out through what the ministry is saying is technical paperwork from people who are owed money. Their paper is not straight. A lot of these private vendors they have to pay. They have escalated their fees, and so there's investigation going on there. So they're looking into all those things before they pay people. I mean, some that should have cost, $50,000 is costing $180,000. So there are lots of questions there. So they're trying to see if they can do some haircutting before settling with these people. But I know for teachers for sure, the monies are sitting there. That's that I know. So anybody who has not been paid, and he says over 10 years, that is not true. They start paying from 2018 until now, and there are one or two people who are falling through the cracks because they did not go back to their departments to get their paperwork regularized to receive their monies. That's all it really is. Some people have left the service, some people moved to a different ministry, and their paperwork back paid have not gone back to their ministries. That's a cry I'm hearing. When they've done so, they've been paid. So it's not that the money is being held from them, it's their paperwork.
Okay.
The reason why I think they went to the manifesto, what they call the government manifesto, is because everyone is not technologically savvy. Everyone does not, middle-aged to older folk, they're not into technology where they would go online and pull up a document to read. When people have something tangible in their hands, they can always access it. You can always open a book, sit on your shelf, and look through to see what you want to see, what is being accomplished. When it's online, which is the way that we use the online process, that is not the way for everyone. Yes, it may have a lot of pictures, but it has lots of content in it too. And I've been reading through it, and it's quite detailed. So the pictures are attractive because most people don't like to read books without pictures. If they see books with pictures, they tend to read it easier. And so it's just an easier read. I mean, I personally am a writer. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like to read long books. If I see pictures, that cuts down the amount of, and the fonts, the fonts are quite large. So even if you don't have on your glasses, you still be able to see what's going on. This, to me, is more tangible than an online document. And we still have it online as well. We have it both ways. You have a PDF version, you also have a tangible copy in your pocket. The United Progressive Party last minute, which to me, based on what they've been saying for all these years, is that the government has done nothing. From 2023, the government has done nothing. So if they have done nothing, your manifesto should have been ready, because the things that you're saying they haven't done, your manifesto should have been, all you have to do is tweak it. You should be able to go to print in a week because you have a manifesto saying nothing has been accomplished. You have things you want to see, it's the same things you want to see. So for you to come up with this chat GPT AI thing and not being able to remove all the AI like trademarks in your manifesto, very poorly done. That it wasn't properly edited, there are lots of misspelled words in it, and so forth and so on. So they have to do better than that. They have to go back and tweak that because it's more like something rushed. But where's your manifesto in 2023? Why didn't you use that manifesto and just build on it? Because you said the government didn't do anything. That's not giving me ideas. That's for them. I believe that people have more confidence.
I'm going to give you one more thing.
The conversation is about corruption, nepotism, and self-enrichment. That's the story. That story doesn't hold everybody. People have seen free education happen. Now, Jonathan mentioned that the UE, Mona, Jamaica, and St. Augustine have been giving free education to their own nationals. They've been in existence for 30, 40 years. We just started 5 years ago. So we're trying to build on what we have. Now we're starting after 5, 6 years to offer free education from September. So right at the beginning, they had that over time, and they built their reputation, built their worth, and all that stuff. So it takes time. We are new UE campus, and so we're building. And so,
right. Jonathan, are you with us?
From September.
Let's see if we can. I'm sorry, Dr. Ray. Let's see if we can get back Jonathan. He's clearly having some challenges with his internet. Jonathan, are you with us?
Yes, good evening again, gentlemen. Apologies for the in and out.
Yeah.
Yes,
maybe what you could do is just leave your camera off. That might help.
Oh, okay.
He's gone again.
Well, just before I do that, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yes, I'm still here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hear the majority of Dr. Ray's contribution, but I think I heard 2 points a bit clearly. The fact that the Cancer Center is a private venture, so the UPP shouldn't take credit for opening it, and Labour Party shouldn't take blame for closing it, and that also that we are saying the government hasn't done anything since 2023, so we should be able to reuse our manifesto, and our manifesto is AI. So I will just, oh dear me, respond to that very quickly. Unfortunately, I have to go and collect a package right now. That is very poor timing. So just allow. I can't do anything about this one. I'm very sorry. Allow Dr. Ray to finish his point, and I'll come back in less than a minute and a half.
I think he was finished his point. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's go to Dr. Ray again. Dr. Ray, name the Labour Party's top 3 promises that you believe will make the most material difference in the lives of Antiguans and Barbudans. The top 3 promises. Just they can be personal, because I know you live overseas, and so some might say you come with a different perspective, and you're not here every day like many of us. But you still have you still have a healthy perspective. That's why we invited you on. But of all the promises that have been made in the manifesto, what do you think the top 3 are in terms of making a material difference in the lives of citizens of Antigua and Barbuda?
First of all, I hope he didn't go to collect a package of information for him to share with us from his headquarters. They didn't bring that thing. He made a point. He made a point saying that I'm doing my job. This is not my job. This is my perspective on Labour. I'm not here representing the party. He's doing his job. I'm just doing human service. It's not a job for me. Okay? They didn't ask me to do it. I was asked by Trinidad and Media to come up here. So this was not necessarily authorized by them for me to go represent them, although I'm here at the headquarters. Now, the first thing is education. I think education is one of going to be the strongest points where people are seeing their way out of poverty. Whoever, indigent, poverty, whatever, they see their way out of poverty. All the education that we're going to give them for free, whether it's paying for CXC, giving them free university education, enrolling ABCAS, free of cost, all those things, that's a big deal, education, for who wants it. Then you have the Performing Arts Center, which is going to be deluxe. I'm sure you know they're retrofitting the Performing Arts Center. Darren was able to go inside it today. It's amazing. So we're going to have a full Performing Arts Center in Antigua where people who are into the arts, whether it's music, dance, poetry, acting, whatever, will be able to use this space because there are many rooms in there for them to do their practice. There's going to be a studio and all that stuff. So there are several things happening in the Performing Arts Center for young people, empowering young people. You have the road program that's ongoing. And the road program, to me, it's a big deal. People may say, they should have done it all a long time ago. Something I heard the Prime Minister say sometime ago. He said one of the reasons why he never tackled roads before is because he was trying to get our debt to GDP down from 140% when he came in to now it's 62% debt to GDP. Yes, John, 60% debt to GDP as of 2025. When they came in, it was 100. In 2004, it was 140%. It's been falling from time they passed office in 2014 is falling. So our credit worthiness looks better on the world stage, so we can get loans at lower interest rates, etc. That's important. Paying on all the debts, those are things that are important. Those are things that people don't see because they can't feel that. So
Right.
for you to do that, all the other things are social programs. Believe it or not, education is a social program. Yes, we need education, but they don't make money from education. They don't make money from teaching, from hospitals. That's a service we give to the public. But you need money for those things. And so you have to find all kind of means to collect money. Most people don't want to pay more taxes anywhere in the world. But without any taxes, you can't have the services you want. You don't want to pay the extra fees on your licensing fees, but you have to pay them because if not, you won't be able to get all the services you want. It requires more money, and we have to source it somewhere, right? And we can't only rely on the CBI program. We have to find ways to get the money from our own people to service our needs. That's just how life works. And nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to increase in anything, but that's life. That's a reality.
Mr. Jonathan, you want to comment? I see you putting your hand up like you're in class. So go ahead. You have some responses to the points that
no, he was just waving to me.
It's always great to be respectful.
He was waving to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's always good to be respectful, Darren.
Yes.
But yes, like I was saying, apologies again for the technology issues this evening. So I want to just touch very quickly because there are many points that Dr. Ray has made, and I won't be able to touch everything in depth as I would have been able to. Cancer Center, it's private, so therefore no one can take credit for its opening or take blame for its closure. First of all, I never said the UPP opened it. I said it was opened under the United Progressive Party. A government still has to create an environment where investment, whether it be in business, tourism, healthcare, education, is available for the people to benefit from. So you can't hit a government or not give a government credit for creating the right environment for investments to flourish, in this instance, healthcare. Secondly, the government of Antigua and Barbuda, under the Gaston Brown administration, created the NAMCO, National Asset Management Company. Now, if something as important as a cancer center is there servicing the people of Antigua and Barbuda, or is to service the people of Antigua and Barbuda, and we are hearing potentially that private developers or investors are having financial issues, or whatever the case might have been, there's an institution such as NAMCO, which the Prime Minister is doing so well, has been set up to service the people in times such as this. So why didn't NAMCO acquire the cancer center and pump money into it and then go out and then seek new private investors to keep the doors open? Additionally, we have hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, let me not say hundreds, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Over $100 million brought into the country as revenue through the Citizenship by Investment program. You tell me you couldn't spare out of the 100, let's call it 100 million. You couldn't spare 20, 10, 15 to go to the cancer center to try to keep its doors open until you find new private investors. I mean, if we can find billionaires to buy the Alphanary in such quick time to spend 40 million US, why can't we find in quick time investors to spend 40 million US in a cancer center that will serve the people of Antigua and Barbuda? The next point. Now, the distinguished Dr. Ray, he would have mentioned the road program. Now, for me personally, if I were a Labour Party operative, I would not take any pleasure or any pride in boasting about the road situation in Antigua and Barbuda. Why? Because this government is about, if they were to win the election, they would be the longest serving administration since independence, if they were to get another term. And you're telling me that the potentially longest serving administration since independence still has the road network infrastructure in the state it is in now? And on top of that, the work being done, because I would never say there's no work being done. And I abhor the fact that Dr. Ray would have said that the UP said nothing has been done in this country since 2023. Because just before he made those remarks, I was on before him saying that I applauded the UE 5 Islands campus. So let's be politically mature and call a spade and be able to say good is good, bad is bad. As I was saying,
you're making a point on the roads.
Yes, in Antigua and Barbuda, as I was saying.
And I also want you to respond to his suggestion that the manifesto was not properly done. It wasn't properly vetted. It was AI generated in many respects.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
It just was not well. So
Yeah, that's easy.
we'll,
No problem. No
yeah,
problem at all.
yeah.
I'll get to that. So the road rehabilitation program, as it is so called, there's so many issues with it. One, it's 12 years. Why haven't you been able to fix what you needed to fix in 12 years, which is more than the UPP government, which is more than the Lester Bird administration had, which is about to be more than what, if you were to win the election, the Five Nation had from 1981 to 1994. So why haven't you been able to substantially improve the roads? And the work that is being done is not being done properly. Why do I say this? Because we all live in Antigua and Barbuda. We know the state of play. There is not proper engineering. There's not proper overlaying and so on being done for the roads. Why are the foundations not being dug properly? You live abroad, Dr. Ray. You see how things are being done. I believe you live in the States most of your time. Spend your time in the States. You see the type of work and engineering that goes behind laying roads that last for many years. Why is it that after a by-election 3 times and now a general election, and this is the mantra of the Labour Party going back up until 2018, I would dare say, that they wait until the eve of an election to hurry to do roads that don't last for more than 2 years. Because little rain comes and the roads crack and they wash away. Why? Because there are no drains. How can you build roads to last without drainage? You can't deny this, people of Antigua and Barbuda, because we've been living here for 12 years. We see the mantra and the operations of the Ministry of Works under this Gaston Brown administration. Where are the drains for the new roads you build? Where's the foundation for the new roads you build? And on top of that, Darren, collaboration. Drainage foundations lacking. There's no collaboration as well too, because we all know in Antigua and Barbuda we have a pipe distribution problem for our water system. There ought to be collaboration between Antigua and Barbuda Public Utilities Authority and the Department of Works, because a simple WhatsApp message or WhatsApp group chat, Darren and Dave, would suffice to say, hey, we have some old pipes in Cedar Grove. Are you doing any road works there soon, Department of Works? Oh, yes, that is planned for June. Hey, before you go to June, we want to go there to fix up and replace those old pipes or maintain them, so that you maintain or replace the pipes so that you don't have to dig up freshly laid asphalt or concrete to then service that. That's wasting taxpayers' money. Not their money, not Labour Party's money, not UP's money, your taxpayers' money. Okay, the next point I wanted to make, I'm going quickly, Darren.
Try to be quick because you have about 2 more minutes, and you need to address the manifesto issue.
Yes,
because it's not Dr. Ray is not the only one who's made that point.
Well, yeah, of course, the Labour Party has several operatives making the point, including their chairman. Sorry, fellow. I'm sorry for him. The next point I wanted to make. Actually, let me just go straight to the manifesto in the interest of time. Straight to the manifesto.
Yes.
I don't know why the Labour Party is so bothered by the United Progressive Party publishing a manifesto online. We in 2026. Get rid of the Times. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with printing a physical manifesto, but it is 2026, and in the type of state of play that we live in terms of technology, accessibility, and so on, it is very easy and simple to put a manifesto online. It's available for people locally and regionally and internationally. There's nothing wrong with that. Putting a manifesto online. So I don't know why we're behaving like that's something crazy to do. Secondly, anybody can say anything was AI. That could be an AI image cover that Dr. Ray is holding up there. That could be an AI generated picture. Anybody can say anything is AI.
Well, we do recognize the picture, to be fair.
And baseless accusation I have ever seen in my life, Darren.
Jonathan, no,
pardon me?
Not for me to be defending Dr. Ray or the Labour Party, but this is a fairly well-known image on the cover of the manifesto.
No, I'm not saying the image itself of English Harbour, Darren, is generated. I'm saying that the cover itself. You could take an image off of Google, put it on there and say create a manifesto cover, and they come out with that with a. So how am I to know or disprove or to say definitively that's not AI generated? My point is, Darren, don't be distracted. That's just a lazy argument without getting into the details. And if I was to pressure Dr. Davray if I was to pressure him to tell me what about it is generated, I don't even know if he has read it. If he's just spewing what's not achievable. I hear Labour Party saying that, raising the increasing public servants' salaries to a $2,700 minimum wage or salary is unachievable, and I would send you to the IMF and fiscal irresponsibility, and they're looking to increase income tax or introduce it. All those are lies. United Progressive Party has no plans to introduce income tax, no plans for fiscal irresponsibility. As a matter of fact, it is not fiscally irresponsible to increase public sector's wages $100. Even less financially precarious than what the Labour Party is proposing to make UE tuition free, because it's millions of dollars you're spending per semester, at that. But because it might be financially precarious to make tuition free, are we going to oppose it? No, because as I said, good is good, bad is bad. If you are able to provide tertiary education free to your people, no matter the government, it's a good thing. So if you're able to raise the minimum, the base salary and wage for public servants, it is a good thing. You don't need to try to scaremonger and scare people away. Secondly, I want to end on this note because I know the time is short, Darren. Labour Party has no right whatsoever to criticize the UP about raising taxes, because within this 12-year administration, the Gaston Brown has introduced and increased taxes and fees significantly beyond any other government in history of this nation. Okay? Why do I say that? One, they broke a manifesto promise. So that alone should tell you that anything that Dr. hold up in that manifesto.
I'll give you an opportunity to respond, Dave. Yeah, go ahead.
They broke a manifesto promise. I'm going to read you the exact page from the 2023 manifesto, Dave and Darren, with Labour Party. Hello.
Oh dear.
Hello.
Hi, Jonathan. You're still here?
Hello.
Oh boy.
Okay, great. Right. As I was saying, in 2023, the last general election, the Labour Party promised that there will be no increase in ABLP on page 5 of their manifesto. Page 5. Anybody who has a digital copy, hard copy, that was promised. And I quote, continue, no, that's not the quote, no increase in ABST. That's on the title, pledges to reduce cost of living, page 5. The Parliament immediately after the election, when the budget was being done, the same Minister of Finance went to Parliament, violated his manifesto, pledged to the people to reduce cost of living, increased ABST to 17%, broadened it to include online streaming services. Not only did he do that, he increased money transfer levy to 5%. On top of that, he increased the sin tax, we call it, taxes on alcoholic, tobacco, and those kinds of products. I can't remember the other one, but
I take your point. You've gotten a lot. You've gotten quite a bit. By the way, just to let listeners know, because of the fact, the Labour Party did produce a physical copy of a manifesto, but they also have a digital copy. A copy of the manifesto launch of the Labour Party is on Twin Island's Facebook page, and also the link to the UPP's manifesto is also on the Twin Island Media's Facebook page. I'm trying to show it here. This is what it looks like. So you can go to our Facebook page and have a look. I just wanted listeners who are asking to know. Dr. Ray, Jonathan does make a good point, or a valid point, I should say, not good, a valid point, in that there was a promise that taxes were not going to be increased, and that isn't quite what happened during the term that has just concluded. How do you respond to that?
If you remember 2004, we have less than a year, he reintroduced introduced a first 15% at one time. So he said that government said that all the time until they get in to see what is there to be done. The government introduced 2% on the 15%, which people already settled on this. When they introduced 2% on the 15%, people already become accustomed to the 15%. So they had already been acclimatized to the 15%. It's become a part of their daily life. So introduce 2% was a draconian measure. But to go from 0 to 15 and introduce the ABST and the personal income tax at the same time when you campaign to introduce any taxes at all. So should I blame them for that? That's what they thought they could have done to raise funds because they didn't have enough. I never said that UPP should not have a digital online content. That's not what I said at all. I said what they should have done is have somebody proofread their ChatGPT AI manifesto. Never said they shouldn't do it because we have an online manifesto. I never said you should not.
Dr. Ray, but to be fair,
yes.
But Dr. Ray, to be fair, you don't have any evidence that they use ChatGPT. Right?
The party.
Did you
you the new one, or did they fix it? First day, GPT fixed the limit. So they might have gone and edited. That's what I'm saying. I didn't look at it.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. The first day just this.
Okay.
You could see
All right.
ChatGPT.
I didn't see that, but all right.
Yeah, you saw Claude, you saw Nova, you saw Genesis. All the names are still in the chat, on the pages. What I'm saying, it wasn't probably now. They probably cleaned it up since then.
Okay.
They did the last 2-3 days, but I saw it first, right? So you might have seen the copy that they've already edited, but they should have done that before. So I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. That's not the point I'm making. It's the easy way to function. We all use ChatGPT. We all use AI. That's part of life. So I don't have a problem with that, right? Now, when you say that they can give salaries to $2,700, that's physical money you have to give people. When you give free education, it's not physical money, because if one person is in the class or 25 people in the class, it's the same class. So when an airline gives you a free flight, you get points. They don't lose any money, because let me tell you something. I learned from airline people, when they give you a complimentary flight, it's not physical money they're giving you. It's a seat that's available. You see what I'm saying?
Be nice, Johnson.
Yeah. So they're giving you a seat. They're not giving you physical money. So if we pay teachers the same salary, so teachers at the college will be paying the same. We give church and free education, just like we give in schools. All schools in our government still not taken free. They're all free, right? But people still have to get paid. So you can see where some of the CBI money is doing anything. They help me use it. One of the ways to invest in CBI is to invest in University 5 Islands. You have the National Development Fund. You have business. You have UE 5 Island. There's another one. I think it's forced to become a broker. So I know the course. You can invest $100,000 in West to be a part of the Citizen Advice program. And if you bring your children, if you bring your wife, it's extra $20,000. If you bring your children less than 12 years old, it's zero. If you bring your children from 12 to 17, it's $2,000. 18 to 35 is $4,000, and so on and so forth. That's how it's done. So money's in the kitty to finance UFI. You're saying we shouldn't take credit for the roads. Roads are not being fixed the way you think they should be fixed. We are spending less per mile per road. UPP spent $10 million per mile at one point, and those roads have to be redone right now, right? We are spending less. I was speaking to a road developer in St. Kitts. He said the problem Antigua has is that we have too many roads. And tonight I'm hearing another contractor. We have too many. We don't realize how many roads we have. There's roads here and there, and those roads require lots of service. Footpaths in different areas. On our own country, roads tend to break up easier. What we have to do is we have to do concrete roads and put asphalt on that. When you go to St. Kitts, roads are held longer in a volcanic state. If you go to St. Vincent, if you go to Muncie because of the terrain, because of the type of soil we have, we have to do better. We're now doing better on building roads. People want roads fixed. Yes, we need drains. Complain about roads. So if you can get roads, at least you can put the drain. Now, your predecessor, the money table, just told me that they are in conversation with public APUA, Public Works, and are working together. A lot of times when they patch the roads, what's been happening is that some of the trucks are so heavy that they burst fixed because the pressure of some of the big trucks on the roads are causing the pipe to burst, right? And so you have burst pipes. So that
let me just say this, right? Yeah.
Plus this also,
that happens a lot. Can I just interject? I've been allowing both of you to have a go at it, and it's kind of fun and gives me a break to step back. But let me tell you, I do not understand, and I hope that whoever takes the reins of the governance of this country come Thursday night, Friday morning, going forward, we need to look at how we develop ourselves. We need to have, to me, a national infrastructural development plan. And I do not understand the wisdom of laying pipes below a carriageway on a road. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. You see the point you just made, Dr. Ray? Why put pipes
But it's been
underneath
years. We didn't do
the
it.
surface of the...
We made a deal.
Well, move them. Put them on the side. I think we're supposed to be repiping. I've been hearing about repiping about 10 years now.
No, that is what they were doing. We're going to put them on the sides of the roads. Working on that
Anyway,
now.
Jonathan, both Jonathan and Dr. Ray, if either of y'all are close to government next time around, please, Jack, do something about them pipes under the roads, because I'm telling you, the roads are... I got to tell you, for me, it's a sore point as a voter and as somebody who pays 40% more. 40% more for my license fee. Well, times 2, 3. Anyway, tell you
Listen,
what,
they have not raised license fee for 30. License fee has not been raised for 30 years. So 40% is just on some vehicles. It's not 40% across the board. It depends on your horsepower. Right. It depends on the cylinder. It depends on many things. It's not just 40. You also put like a blanket statement.
Right. Well,
that's
I did
not really
say
true.
Me. I did say me.
No,
I said me. I did say me. Anyway.
But you are saying 40% across the board. That's not true. Some people are paying 20%, and so on and so forth, depending on what type of vehicle they have.
That is true. I accept that. I want to talk about accountability and transparency when we come back. I do have to have one more break. Because we started late, if I may, just have another maybe 15, 20 more minutes with you guys. But we're going to share a couple of messages. This is Twin Island Media Live, pre-election edition. We'll have more after this.
Hello everyone, my name is Elisa Graham, the Public Relations Officer for the Antigua and Barbuda Electoral Commission. As part of our ongoing commitment to fairness, transparency, and accuracy, transparent ballot boxes will be utilized in the upcoming general elections. A transparent ballot box ensures greater transparency, enhanced confidence, improved security, a modern voting experience. Voters will be able to clearly see that the ballot box is empty before voting begins and watch as ballots are securely deposited throughout the day. Remember, your vote will remain secret, secure, and confidential. I encourage all eligible voters in Antigua and Barbuda to participate in the upcoming general elections and be a part of this step towards electoral democracy. This is a message brought to you by the Antigua and Barbuda.
Are you ready to paint? Casada Paints and Supplies Inc. is the perfect place to start. We are the official distributors of Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams, with over 150 years of innovation and experience, offers more than 1,500 paint colors to choose from. Our color palettes are handpicked by professional designers, making it easy to coordinate colors throughout your home or business. Visit us on the Utility Drive, Casada Gardens, or call 562-9450. All you have to do is visit or call Casada Paints.
My friends, we all feel it at the store. Thanks to God above, it is peaceful here. But the wars and chaos around the world means higher prices and an uncertain future. The world is entering a new era, and so is Antigua and Barbuda. On election day, you must ask yourselves, which leader and team is strong enough, steady enough to see our country through? We offer a renaissance in changing times. We repealed the personal income tax, increased the minimum wage, increased public sector wages, increased social security and occupational pensions to put more money into your pockets. We expanded the food voucher program, expanded the zero-rated ABST on essential foods, and rolled out affordable broadband. We are literally building new hotels. We expanded the reverse osmosis plants to provide more water. And we have ongoing roadworks that are taking place in every single constituency. As I said before, the world is entering a new era, and there's a renaissance in Antigua and Barbuda. On election day, do not take a risk on a leader and a team that's just not ready. Let's keep Antigua and Barbuda in strong and safe hands.
The US has slapped visa sanctions on the people of Antigua and Barbuda because of the Gaston Brown government's policies. But more bad news is about to come if they remain in office. The European Union is set to impose its own visa sanctions by the end of the year. The Gaston Brown regime is unable to do what it takes to ensure that the sanctions are removed and new ones are not added. The United States and Europe are now looking for a new government that they can work with. That is why a change of government is essential.
We're gonna chase those crazy ballheads out of town.
Remove Gaston Brown and Labour and watch the old sanctions be removed. Antigua and Barbuda, it's time for a new government that finally works for you. Vote the United Progressive Party.
Let the whole place blaze. Let a future better, brighter days. Hands in the air, let me hear you say we voting for change today. Vote for the sun.
All right. It's Twin Island Media Live pre-election edition of this Monday, the 27th day of April, 2026. And we're continuing with Jonathan Wynn and Dr. Dave Ray, representing both the United Progressive Party and the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party. I want to, as we look to wrap up our discussion fairly shortly, do we have Dr. Ray? You still with us? I'm not seeing him in the virtual room. Jonathan, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, Darren. Are you hearing me?
You're hearing me loud and clear. All right. Let's tackle, while we sort out Dr. Ray, hopefully he'll be able to join us. Let's speak about governance and integrity. What specific reforms are the United Progressive Party committing to with respect to transparency, procurement, which is a big issue with this election cycle? Well, this term. I don't know about this election cycle because I'm not hearing much about the 15 million now. Conflict of interest rules, campaign finance, which is something a lot of people are concerned about, and access to information. Speak to us about, the United Progressive Party's attitude toward reforming the way government works.
Right. Unfortunately, because of the way the technology has been, I have not been able to be as ever present in the discussion as I love to be, Darren. Okay. So certain points I would have loved to have made previously, I was not able to make.
Okay.
Like I said this before, Ray went on again to defend the state of our roads in our nation, and I just wanted to make this point because he did say that the Labour Party is spending less per mile now than the UAP did when they were in office. Now, if that is true, if you're spending less per mile, why the taxes or fees to roads when you already said that you secured $100 million in financing to again fix the roads? So I'm just saying this doesn't make sense. And within Antigua and Barbuda, we see what is going on. We do not need to convince anyone or tell you that it is new. It doesn't. The Honorable Gaston Brown, the Honorable Red Brown, Dr. Dave Ray, my predecessor, whoever says it, we know roads. Hear me, Darren, can you still hear me? You're right. Roadways are cleared.
Yeah, I'm still hearing you,
Ground
but
is
there's a
leveled.
lot of
There's
distortion
no
on you.
this foundation being dug, and
Yeah. Jonathan, since you're having some difficulty with your internet connection, could you just
hello.
all right. Hi, yeah. Since you're having some challenges, are you hearing me now? Jonathan?
I'm hearing you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay,
Since
so let
you're
me just wrap
having
up that, finish off that road and answer your question.
please,
let me finish
because
that
I
off.
want to, yeah.
Right. So my point is, no drains, no foundation, no collaboration. And since 2014 manifesto from the Labour Party, page 9 to be specific, they have been promising the nation that they would replace the pipe infrastructure. That's the water distribution system I'm speaking of. The Labour Party promises since 2014. So for them, 12 years later, to be still saying, oh, well, the water infrastructure, the pipe distribution system is an issue and that is causing us problems, 12 years after the fact. This is more time than the UP had. This is more time than Celeste the Bird had. How much more time do you need? Okay, and to answer your question as it relates to governance now, Now, we in the United Progressive Party have had many issues, many outings, whether it be in the media, town halls, rallies, etc., whatever it may be, whatever form it take, to bring awareness to the fact that this Gaston Broad administration has violated several laws with regards to transparency, integrity, and good governance. Now, quickly, the Finance Administration Act, there are several rules that ought to be followed whenever you borrow money, invest money, or do anything with money as it relates to taxpayers' funds, all right? Many of those laws have been broken and violated. I mean, I speak about Section 56 for F in regards to the lack of statements of investment that should have been brought before Parliament, so we don't know how much money is being invested into where. You can't rely on someone's words. The law requires you to bring these things before Parliament. Quickly again, I don't have time for details, unfortunately, Darren, as I would have loved to get into the CBI Act. The CBI Act, the Principal Act of 2013, has not been followed. Now I'm speaking about Regulation 13. I believe that is, okay, I'm not going to get the letter right because I can't remember the letter, but Regulation 13, it has several sub-letterings, headings there that outline what ought to be the content of the 6 monthly report from the CIU, the Citizenship by Investment Unit. Now, that is not being followed. What am I speaking about? Now, Dr. recently took a course. He's correct. There's several investment options on the CIU, on the CBI program, sorry. U is one of them. Now, the 6-month report requires the government or the unit, the CIU, which falls under the responsibility of the Prime Minister, to tell the nation by bringing it before Parliament how much money has been received, not just through the NDF, but through all investment categories. That has not been done. Why is this important? Because the Prime Minister, Gaston Brown, has changed the law in 2016 to amend the act to remove the power of deciding which businesses in Antigua and Barbuda, which charities in Antigua and Barbuda receive injections from the fund out of the hands of the Investment Authority, ABI, into his sole. The Prince of Antigua and Barbuda today, Gaston Brown, is the sole authority to decide which entity, i.e. Twin Island Media, Observe Radio, the Labour Party, Point Communications, which entity receives injections. And it took it out the hands of the ABI. We, the United Progressive Party, are saying that these issues are clear issues with transparency and integrity. And this is not my opinion. This is not political talking points. These are factual things. Anybody can go on the Gazette and see these amendments effected by the Gaston Brown administration, which remove transparency. They're violating Regulation 13 by not publishing the injections, the inflows that they receive into the different investment categories. Only the NDF is reported on. Since 2015, only the NDF has been reported on. Others are dark. We don't know the information. You spoke about access to information. And additionally, the Prime Minister has muddied the waters, made the gray area for corruption even darker by taking the Investment Injection Authority out of ABI into his sole remit. So again, these are things that we will reverse as the United Progressive Party to clear up our CBI program and to bring confidence back into the integrity of the program. Additionally, lastly, I say about the CBI, because we have issues with visa access and visa bonds being instituted by the US, we hear something could be coming in the works from the EU if we don't get our act together. The Prime Minister, again, because the principal CBI Act of 2013 had an audit requirement, Darren. Now, that means every year, the CIU had to be audited by the Director of Audit or an auditor approved or appointed thereof by the Director of Audit, all right? Every year. The Gaston Brown administration saw it fit in all his wisdom and wiseness to remove the audit requirement from the Principal Act. So there is no longer within the CBI Act an audit requirement. Why would that be necessary? Why don't you want financial experts, forensic auditors, or just auditors in general to go through the books of the CBI program? And you don't have to take my word for listeners and viewers. Laws.gov.ag, that's available online. And like we had this discussion with Max Hurst in the previous thing, where he's trying to deny these amendments. These are publicly available information, record on the Gazette.
One quick question.
Happened. There's no audit requirement, there's no reporting, there's violation of the 6-month report. And these are things that contribute to executive orders that bring us visa requirements.
Jonathan, saying one quick question.
Yeah. One question.
Pardon me?
15, I notice I'm not hearing much from the UPP about the vehicle gate or Bronco gate scandal, the 15 million. Is that no longer a campaign or no longer an issue for the UPP? I haven't heard it much.
Well, of course, it's still an issue. It falls under the broader issue of good transparency and accountability. And there's so many areas I could point. I'm fighting to get into the limited amount of time because I've lost so much time due to the technology. But to get into the weeds of that again, I just don't have the time to do it. All I'm saying is we still don't know what is going to transpire.
Guess what? You're going to be on with me election night, so you'll have plenty time. We have plenty hours. Go ahead, Dr.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So this thing about sold, that the Prime Minister has sold whatever, you need to change that word because that's not true. When you're saying that, you're saying the Prime Minister has sold whatever. That's not true. So when you're going to make your points, try to be as factual as possible. If they went and change the laws in Parliament, the bills are brought to Parliament, you guys weren't there to listen to it, so you probably don't know it came to Parliament because they hardly ever show up. The point is, when things are when they go for any loans, I'm telling you, and this is not cheap shot. Most of you guys don't show up for Parliament. So the point is, when these things are brought to Parliament and the rules are changed or amended or whatever, your guys are not there. So for you to say the Prime Minister have sole responsibility for seeing whatever, that's not true. That is not true, right? That's very unfair for you to say that. I don't agree with that at all, right? You have no proof of that, so don't say that. Now, the CIB, the CBI program, CIU program, you said they report to no one. That's what you said. That's not true, though. That's not true because they have audits to go in there all the time. Listen to me. Whatever you said, I can't. You said so much in such a short time. I can't really, because you said it so fast. You know, people speak really fast. What happens? So I'm saying to you, Jonathan, be very careful of that. Bills in Parliament. One of the things I know is that you may not think they're transparent, but that's your job. Your job is to say they're not transparent. That's your job. I don't have a job. I'm just speaking on my own behalf here. I'm not representing anybody, right? So all the things, section 15, and so nobody reading that stuff. So call the section of the order when you make a difference. The point I'm making to you is, hope that's not AI you're showing there, okay? Hope it's real facts you're showing there, right? But the point is, I want to address the thing about rules. I said they spent $10 million for $10 million for 1 mile of road, which was overpriced. You said $100 million has been allocated. $100 million is not a lot of money. $100 million is only, if I want to go by your standards, $100 million is only for 10 miles of road. I said to you earlier, until you have more roads than any other country in the Caribbean for our size. Now the thing is, all those by roads, all those secondary roads, all those roads, $10 million can cover them. I can't. What I'm saying based on what it was $10 million per mile. So that would be $100 million, which would be 10 miles. We don't have 10 miles of road in Antigua. We have 100 some miles of roads all through Antigua, maybe more than that. So that one is just a starting point, along with your taxes. So your taxes and remember the $100 million is a starting point. Remember that's what the bank gave you for the starting point. The bank is going to monitor how the money is being spent. They haven't drawn down on it yet. they start drawing on to $10 million per chance, and then the two banks that lend the money are going to be monitoring how the money is being spent. They're going to have accountability for that. That's how they set up. So now they're going to take the money and just spend it. Your taxes is going to help to maintain some of these roads. That's what they do. So far, they haven't drawn on that $100 million yet, right? So you're saying the $100 million should be enough, which means you don't know how much it costs to fix roads at all. We're just getting more value. We're getting more value.
I don't think he said that tonight. In fairness, I don't think Jonathan said that tonight.
What Jonathan said is what he said is that he said that I said $10 million is my road and we have $100 million. Why can't we fix the roads? That's what he said. I heard it. No. So the point is, $100 million is just a drop in the bucket. It may sound a lot to you, but obviously roads. And if you want roads to build with a serious foundation, it's going to cost a lot more. It's going to cost a lot more. So we're trying to do the best we can with what we have. The taxes have been increased, and hopefully, when we are re-elected, you will see a great road program happening. Not if.
Why are you so confident?
Okay, now you want to sit you in like
why are you so confident?
I'm not confident. I'm not confident. I'm not confident you're going to win all 17 seats. And I told you this already. I'm not confident 17 seats. Because I don't.
No, I never said anything about 17 seats. I'm asking why are you so confident that the Labour Party?
Because if you listen to the people on the ground,
Oh dear. All right, Jonathan, while we figure out what's going on there with Dr. Ray, let me ask you, in the final few moments of our show tonight, why should a voter choose the UPP over the Labour Party? Based strictly on the promises that were made in both documents. Let me see if I can find the other one, so that I can be fair and balanced in this approach.
Okay, no problem.
I have it electronically, but yeah, why should a voter vote for the United Progressive Party? Especially, a matter of fact, I got a couple of messages tonight that amplified the point that Dr. Ray was making, i.e., the party didn't have it together. There was some, questions about the leadership, et cetera. I mean, and of course, the concern about Jamal Pringle as a leader, as an effective leader. There have been concerns expressed about that. I'm sure this is not new to you.
Right.
So I have a physical copy, and I have my digital copy of. So the digital copy of the UPP manifesto, right? Lord, I'm trying to see if I can get it. Can you see it, Jonathan? Is it clear where you are? Yeah,
I can.
I just wanted the listeners to see that I had both manifestos. But go ahead.
Right. No problem. Just before I answer why should the voters vote for the United Progressive Party, I know I say my friend, because I like to keep it civil, and listeners, viewers, no matter how heated or passionate the discussion here tonight may have gotten, understand that there is no animosity between any member of the panel here, and as well, while we're here, we don't condone violence, vandalism in any way. I'm sure members here on the stream tonight would say that. So whether it be vandalism, paraphernalia, or even violence at campaign events, we do not condone that at all. The shooting that happened at the rally or what anyway. We don't condone violence or vandalism during our election season or at any time.
I hope Dr. Ray is able to join.
So no matter how heated or spirited our discussion. Right, no matter how heated or spirited our discussion gets, we are still Antiguans and Barbudans first and foremost, and trust me, I hold no animosity towards anyone. But I want to clarify something. I wasn't saying that $100 million is enough. I was just making something a different point there. Probably because of the technology, the point didn't come across for Dr. Ray clearly, and he misheard or misunderstood. But I'm not going to get into that again. To be clear again, the law is the law. It doesn't matter if a member of parliament was there or wasn't there. You have Hansard, you have the minutes, you have the record, you have the gazette, which laws, acts, once they become law and they pass, and it's assented to by the GG, they are, they go in, they're gazetted. You can check online on the gazette, people at laws.ab.gov.ag or something like that. You could check the gazette yourself, and the Citizenship by Investment Act has been amended in 2016. That's Regulation 9, Investment in Business. 1, the minister, interpretation is the Prime Minister. The minister shall approve businesses. It doesn't say ABIA or the CIU. It's now the ministers. So that's just a fact. So unfortunately, our Dr. Ray might not have been aware of
you're
what.
specific,
But going back to why
be
you should
fair.
vote for UPP.
Hold on, Jonathan. I try to be fair. If understanding what you said and understanding what Dr. Ray said, you are suggesting that the Prime Minister alone dictated, and I don't think that was. Well, I don't know it to be accurate. I think it's a cabinet situation where the cabinet collectively decides how the funds for the CIP are used, as opposed to the Prime Minister alone singly says this is how it goes. I think that's the point that Dr. Ray was trying to make, and I think that may be a fair point. Yeah.
That is the
Go
case.
ahead,
That
go
is the
ahead.
case for the NDF. But because of time, probably perhaps, and the technology that point didn't come across, that is correct for the
Right.
National Development Fund. That's one
Yes, I heard
investment category. There are three others.
Right.
I'm speaking about
So
investment in businesses or charities, to be clear. Section 9 of the CBI Act.
Okay.
Investment in businesses.
So
Not
you're
the
saying that
NDF.
the Prime
That's
Minister
something different.
alone?
That's cabinet.
Oh.
The
So
Prime
you're
Minister,
saying that
the law says Regulation 9 of the CBI Act was changed by this administration to
Send that to me,
remove the
Jonathan.
authority to decide which businesses, pardon?
Send
To
that to me.
remove the
Send that to
authority
me.
from ABIA and the unit, yes, to transfer it into the sole permit preview authority of the minister responsible, in this instance, the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister alone determines businesses and charities that receive injections from the CBI program. I hope that is clear now.
It is clear. At least your
Indisputable.
representation
That's
is
the
clear.
law.
Okay. The question though, what
But
as
it's
a
easily
voter?
checked. It's easily checked. The gas is online. But anyway, going over now to
the question was, as a voter, I consider myself an independent voter, right? I consider myself an independent voter. I'm not beholden to one party or another. I vote for the party that I think will serve the best interests of Antigua and Barbuda. That's, at least in theory, how I think of myself. My question to you is, as an independent voter, or swing voter as they call it in America, why should I vote for the United Progressive Party versus Dr. Ray's party, the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party?
Right, no problem. So, the United Progressive Party, our motto is people first. And in keeping with people first, we have crafted a campaign and a promise that government must work for you, the people, all right?
Yeah.
And building out from government must work for you and people first. We have established 15 core pillars that we would build our administration on. When you go to the website, you'd even see 100-day achievables and steps towards the goals that we have set. So for the first 100 days, 60 days, first year, whatever it may be. So whether it be cost of living, agriculture, healthcare, which is really in the dire strait, education, so many different areas. The point is, I know the time is short here, that the United Progressive Party will be a government that works for you in terms of trying to ease a squeeze on your pockets, whether it be through reducing taxes. By the way, I told you and mentioned earlier, the ABLP has introduced and increased taxes way beyond anything comparable to the income tax, which would never be reintroduced in this nation by United Progressive Party government. So when you talk about the unincorporated business tax, the entertainment tax, the sin tax, the money transfer levy, the 40% vehicle licensing fees, the increase in the police certificate of character, so many different things that I have even forgotten there. So I'm just saying there has been so much that the government has done, increases in social security contributions to increase the money that comes out of his salary and wages. We are saying on top of that, we're taking out less. We're going to give you more into your pockets. So public sector servants, $2,700 minimum. All right.
I'm curious.
In addition to this, we're going to reintroduce, for cost of living, last point, the dollar barrel. Under the Baldwin-Spence administration, we brought about a dollar barrel initiative. We had Christmas time persons such as Dr. Dave Ray could send home a barrel to his family here. You know, to his family to benefit at a reduced cost. And now $1 for shipping and all these things. They're bringing a barrel for $1. That's a significant opportunity for individuals to get the things they need. And we're saying not this we're going to bring back around Christmas time, but we're going to do it as well too for back to school. Not in August just before school starts, but in June and July. So you can properly plan. So twice per year, the dollar barrel will be back. The $1 barrel. There's so many other areas in terms of healthcare, opening clinics, period, refurbishing, restructuring. But the point is, government must work for you. And after 12 years, 12 years, people, you've seen this Labour Party administration under the hands of Gaston Brown, which several Labour Party supporters, if we're being honest, I know Dr. is going to try to refute it, they're not fully pleased with his leadership, but it is what it is. He has not been able to deliver in some of the things that I've highlighted in his manifestos going back to 2014, whether it be water must be, well, let me actually read exactly. Water must flow through the pipes at all times, except in emergencies. That's a campaign promise from the page 9 of the 2014 Labour Party manifesto. Water must flow at all times. It's still not flowing. There has been no sufficient repiping. The road infrastructure is still in a mess. And the efforts that we do with our road rehabilitation program now under this administration are not being done properly, whether with engineering, drainage, and with APUA. We still have so many problems. If they can't get it right after 12 years, why are you going to give them another 5 years to do again now?
Let me ask you,
am I saying in conclusion, am I saying they did nothing right? I'm not saying that, Darren. I'm not saying that, Dave. So I don't want to hear that point. That's not my point. Every government does something good for the people. I'm saying it has not been sufficient for you to carry on for 17 years total with this Labour Party government.
Is
vote
Jamal
for the sun for a government that will work for you.
Is Jamal, I'm sorry, Dr. Ray, I'm going to let you have the last word. Is Jamal Pringle, the Honourable Jamal Pringle, Member of Parliament for All Saints East and St. Luke, is he ready for prime time? Well, again, is he ready for prime time?
Yes.
And I asked that question, it's not me. It's not me necessarily. It's, if you notice, if you pay attention to the Labour Party campaign, they are drilling away at what they believe is the Achilles heel of the UPP. That is the leader. So if come morning, Friday morning, the 1st of May, Jamal is Prime Minister, obviously the voters wouldn't have bought that argument. But the Labour Party believes that that is a key vulnerability of the UPP. What can you say to reassure voters that Jamal is ready for prime time? If you can do that, Jonathan, I've given you a minute because I have to let Dr. Ray wrap up and I have to give him some time to respond.
Yes, in all fairness, we must allow to wrap up. We must allow to wrap up.
Yes, please.
Yes, so I'll just say this. This is the same, the old dog using old tricks again. I'm not saying they're dogs, I'm just using a metaphor. And then
Understand.
Hello?
Yeah, you're still there. You're still there.
Okay, great. As I was saying, so in every leader, the United Progressive Party have had the same narrative that this leader is not capable of running the country. This leader has no experience. This leader doesn't have the capacity. This leader doesn't have the qualifications, etc., etc., etc.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right. You're back with us. Go ahead.
Yes. As I was saying, before, let me hurry before the internet cut me out again, Darren. So they did it. Bowen Spencer, Dr. Honorable Winston Bowen Spencer. They said he can't compare to Celeste because Celeste is so brilliant and bright, and Bowen has no experience in government. He can't run it off the capacity. Dr. Honorable Winston Bowen Spencer was a good prime minister, all things being considered. They did it with Harold Lovell. Let me make the point. They've done it in every leader. So this is nothing special for Jamal Pringle. That's nothing special. They done it with Harold Lovell. They tried to discredit him. They say he's not capable, he doesn't have the capacity, doesn't have the wherewithal. So, and they're doing it again with the Honorable Jamal Pringle. And no matter who, let's say, worst case scenario, the UPP doesn't win and we select a new leader, Darren. No matter who we select as leader, the same narrative will come again. They don't have.
No, I understand that.
They don't government, whatever it may be. So I'm just saying the same narrative can't be the same over and over again. Judge them based on their record. UPP is a team that is ready to serve the people of Antigua and Barbuda. United Progressive Party team in government will work for you.
Jonathan, I'm sorry, but I don't think you answered my question. I understand what you're saying. Remember, your political opponent, their job is to create as much doubt, create as much, put a question mark over your head. That's the job of your opponent politically. My question is, what can you say to voters who are listening? Convince us that Jamal Pringle is ready for prime time. He may very well be. I know he's a businessman. it doesn't mean that he has to have a degree in law or finance or whatever. I'm just saying, what can you say to convince people that he's ready for prime time? Because the narrative out there is, and even people who would be otherwise inclined to vote for the UPP, including at least 3 conversations I had today.
Oh,
If
dear me.
a Richard Lewis,
Uh,
hold on, if a
I don't know if
Richard
you can
Lewis
hear me.
or Harold Lovell were leaders,
Hello?
the UPP would stand a better chance. I think.
Hello?
Jonathan? Okay. Hi. You see, this is why it's
Hello?
important for you to use.
Yeah.
Dr. Ray, let's go with Dr. Ray. Let's go with Dr. Ray
Hello?
because Jonathan is. Yeah. Let's go with Dr. Ray. Dr. Ray, go ahead. Dr. Ray, you're still there? Unless we have an issue with Dr. Ray too? Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm trying to wrap things up, but it seems as though we're having some issues again. Dr. Ray, are you here with me? Oh boy. All right. I think we have some challenges, folks. I think we have some challenges. I'm not sure what is wrong. I'm not sure what is wrong. But I was trying to get I was trying to get Jonathan to just tell me. We know that the Labour Party is going to say that the leader of the UPP, regardless of who it is not the best. I'm sure if he, Jonathan, as bright as he is and as articulate as he is, he goes up for leadership at the UPP, they're going to say that he's not ready yet. That's the job. My question is, what can he say to us tonight that will convince us that Jamal Pringle is ready? Let's see. Jonathan, you're back. Jonathan,
Hey, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I've given you a simple task. Simple. We know that the
But
Labour
Darren,
Party is going to say,
allow me
hold
to
on. If you become
I
leader
heard the
of the
question several
UPP
times. I've just
tomorrow,
been dropping
you
out.
heard me. Go ahead then. They're going to say you're not ready. So tell us why
Yes,
Jamal Pringle is ready.
No, I'm just saying I've been having technical difficulties. So just allow me, man. I'm getting there. I'm just saying the point is, it is their job. Of course, I concede it is their job to try to discredit the leader, and that's all they have done. Now, in terms of the Honorable Jamal Pringle, the Honorable Jamal Pringle is a man of integrity, is a man of character, who has the people, not just of his constituency at heart, but people of Antigua and Barbuda. He has grown up not in luxury or in great comfort. He understands the plight of the common man. He understands the plight of the grassroots individual, the working class, if you will. And he will fight for them in government. That is the most important characteristic of any leader of a country, in my opinion, that is out there. Secondly, he has now experience within Parliament. All right? He had to stand by himself alone. One against, it was 16 at one point, but then eventually 15 because Honorable Trevor came back into Parliament in 2018.
Right.
But anyway, as I was saying.
Single Pringle,
right, well,
as Max would call him.
Well, he wasn't really thinking because he had Honorable Trevor Walker, but yes, sure.
Yeah.
It was
For the time
him
he
and
was.
the Honorable Trevor against the 15, and they had to stand there and stand in the gap. Now, no matter how much you criticize someone who had to learn on the job, learn quickly, because at that time he was new into the political arena, and just like anyone else, he had to learn on his feet, and he has built himself up. He has progressed over the years to where he is able, with the support of the team behind him, to run the country in a way that will work for the people of Antigua and Barbuda, that will put people first, that won't have $15 million go unaccounted for, CIP funds not properly accounted for either, visa restrictions coming down on the people, where the White House is citing our CIP program as within their report as well too. Roads that are not being done with proper engineering, proper drainage, and all these different things I've highlighted. Taking more money out of your pocket and giving you back less. All these things would not happen. Healthcare facilities being closed, or not being open for long enough, or not having the resources they need. All these within the budget.
Understood.
So first
Jonathan?
and foremost, the philosophy of the party is within the Honorable Jamal Pringle. People first, government working for you in all areas, all sectors across the government of Antigua and Barbuda. And no matter what Dr. Davey says, they've had 12 years and they're now asking for 17. If you couldn't finish what you needed to do in 12, why are you coming back for more again? I'm just saying.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. I really appreciate that. Dr. Davey, It's been a long night, and we've had some technical challenges that I am not able to explain. Hopefully, we'll have a post-mortem and figure out what went wrong. So I do apologize for these technical difficulties. But Dr. Ray, Gaston Brown 2 is a lightning rod. A matter of fact, he is a lightning rod. I don't know if Jamal is a lightning rod per se, but Gaston Brown is a lightning rod. You either love him or loathe him. Many people say they're not voting for the Labour Party, or they're going to stay home if they're party supporters because they don't like his style of leadership. He's too brash. He doesn't have a bridle on his tongue. I mean, we know his foibles. He's been Prime Minister for 12 years. Why should Antiguans and Barbudans take another chance with another term of Gaston Brown?
Let me just start by saying Jonathan had 16 minutes because I was timing him. 16 minutes. I don't minutes. Okay. So I mean, I don't expect Jonathan to say that Jamal Pringle is not ready. I don't expect him to say that. That would be I think to say that. So I expect him to say what he said. But we all know that 9 of these wrote a letter saying they do not want Jonathan Pringle. Once the letter became public or tried to rescind or whatever.
Jonathan.
Right? They all said so.
Jamal.
Right? So what I said.
You said Jonathan.
Jamal Pringle. I'm sorry. Jamal Pringle. I'm getting a tongue twister here. So yeah, we know the party, and after he was duly elected as a party, factions started. People started to leave in droves. I mean, the people who are, I say the upper echelons of the party, people who would make a difference in the party, who were strategists and so forth. The latest one was so powerful. And so is actually where I am right now, training people to do phone banks, right? Dr. Manso is here doing work with the young people, right? You have tables that have left. You go, Dr. Benjamin, they're leaving droves. So for you to say he's ready to serve from the, that's not true, right? I don't disagree. He's a businessman like I am, right? But being a businessman is not sufficient for you to run a party. First of all, when I spoke to Jamal when he just ran for office. I want his seat, and I said, I don't know him personally, but you know me. I read to him and we used to communicate. And I said to him, get yourself back into school, get some education, because you may become the leader of this country one day. We spoke quite well. He stopped communicating just around when we had that what was a thing they were going to have at Willoughby Bay. He stopped communicating. I remember hearing you, Darren, say, when the Prime Minister invited him to do as an opposition leader to learn, this is what last in Brazil, he didn't go. He said he's going to stay and watch it. He's going to stay back home to watch the vehicle gate scandal. What foolishness is that? You'll get an opportunity to go. It's not Gaston paying for it. The government's going to pay for you to expose yourself to what is possible if you become Prime Minister. So you get in those rooms, meeting those people. So they put a nice narrative together for their manifesto saying all the kind of style things they're going to do. First of all, you need money to do those things, right? All those things require money. Listen, I'm not saying they shouldn't say what they say, but that's what but we all know that Jamal, and I'm not beating a dead horse because we know, but I don't want him to make it seem like, he's prepared. The party's pretending that they're unified now because of the election, which you understand. You had the young man there, Adrian, was attacking the party just a couple of weeks before. So, it's like they double talk. They're talking two sides of their mouth. They don't understand that. That's not even a big issue because he's running a constituency where I think he doesn't have a chance, but I wish him well. Maybe in the future he can become, one of the representatives. I am of the view that Gaston Brown is a lightning rod, as you say. Gaston is a political. Gaston Brown knows how to be on the world stage, and he knows how to be a grassroots. Gaston Brown knows how to be in the gutter with you, and he also knows how to be in the palace with you. He has that, je ne sais quoi, as you want to call it, right? He's loved around the world. He's loved by local people. Yes, the opposition people don't like him. He thinks business, strategy. Gaston Brown surpasses many people. He understands finance. He understands strategy. And yes, it may not all work out, but most of the things he does come to fruition. So I think that people are sure. I was saying before we got cut off, people are not going to. You ask me why am I so very confident? I'm just talking about reality, right? Because if the ALP loses, I mean, I would be devastated, yes. But you know what I would do, Darren? If ALP loses, I'll accept the will of the people. I'm not going to go say, oh, this and that. If the ALP wins this election, UPP will say they paid people off, they stole the corruption. That's all the narrative. When they win, it's okay. But when they don't win, it's always something bad that people did or people accepted bribes. If UPP wins this election, I'm not gonna be happy, but I will not die over it, right? I will understand that's the people's will. I don't own this country by myself. I'm a citizen, just like everybody. Other people, the majority of people have to decide who they want to rule them. If they want to pick Jamal Pringle, I'm with that. I'm not fine with that, but I'm fine with that. Right? I'm not gonna be bashing and bashing. Let him run his course. I know if he runs his course for 5 years, 4 years, whatever when he calls the election, he will not stay in office. That's what I know, right? Because if they can't, they use a motto now saying people first. Hold on. I know they have a motto now saying people first, and they can't even put their own people first. They can't even keep their party together. How can you say people first and you can't keep your own party together? People first should start from charity begins at home. Keep the home together. How you can keep outside together? You can't keep outside together. So I'm not going to buy the angle people first. It's a nice phrase. It's a catchy phrase. Just like the phrase before was leadership matters. Where is the leaders? Leadership matters when they didn't have a leader. I heard Dr. Quinn announce sometime. Are you hearing me? Am I still there?
Yes,
Hello?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you.
I heard Dr. Quinn say on her show some time ago, Harold is the best prime minister that Antigua never had. Now, what foolishness is that? The best prime minister I never had? That sounds like she's playing games with the man. Why would you say he's the best prime minister Antigua never had? How can you be best if you never experienced
She was expressing an opinion.
The best that you never had? How you gonna be best you never had? You never had it, how you gonna be best? You can't be best you never had it. You can't be the best. Your product is not as good until people know what it is. So if for example, he was a prime minister before and he got voted out against it, he was a good guy, people voted him out. You can't be best you never had, you're the minister. So that's the games they play with each other, right? Jackie, I'm going to use her. She on her show before she did the show, this recent show, she questioned Jamal on the letter that he got about his removing his tent in the road where we were. He came into Parliament and said he never got the letter. She questioned him and said, "Did you get the letter?" He said, "Yes, I got the letter," like everybody else. So it's like, I don't know why she tied him up that way, because she knew he said Parliament he didn't get a letter, but she asked him on the ear, "Did you get a letter?" She said, "We have to follow." She said, "Honorable Jamal, we have to follow the law. Did you get a letter? Did you receive a letter?" He said, "Yes, I got the letter." "When did you get the letter?" She asked him the date. He just said in Parliament the day before he didn't get a letter. And I don't know how Jackie did that to him on radio, and she's a member of the party. I find Now, Jonathan said something earlier. He said he is for the university. He is for the university. He's going to get through. But his own chairman of his party came on your show, Darren, and said she's not for the university, come to Antigua. And if the university comes to Antigua, she's going to resign. I heard right on your show, I heard it. I'm quoting her. She said, if they come here, they watch you down, they brand. She said on your show. But Jonathan now comes and says he's for the university. So which one is it? Some for the university and some not for the university? I don't get it, right? How can you be against education?
Well, Jonathan was expressing his view. No, I was just saying Jonathan was expressing his view and a view that's held by, But I take your point.
So I
take your point.
So it is, I'm not overconfident, and you asked a question before we got cut off. I'm not overconfident. I am listening to the pulse of the people. I'm listening to the temperature. And I walk around the country, what I'm hearing, right? I'm hearing the stories from UPP people who are on the fence saying, this looks so shaky. They see three, they see four. I'm hearing that story all around the place I go. On Thursday, what the decision is. But I'm ALP may not get 12, they may get 9. 9 is still the government. That's all they have to get, 9. And 9, and I can pick 9 on my hands right now that they're going to get. So the point is, I wish the UPP well. I wish Jonathan Wenner well, because I think Jonathan Wenner is one of the smartest cookie they have in their mix. He's a young, bright talent, and I think UPP is going to have to regroup after this election. If they don't win, they have to regroup, and they have to get different sort of different direction, a different trajectory, a different dispensation. How are they going to move forward? You know, Jonathan is a smart young man. He's still new to politics, and he has a gift of, which is great. But you're going to have to reach your party, because we need a healthy opposition in Antigua. I am not against an opposition party, because we always have to be prepared if the government changes, that we have competent people to run our country. So I'm not for the UPP, but I'm not against opposition, if you get my. So I don't want to ever see them. That's not my point. My point is, I prefer to have strong people who are ready for leadership, so that in case the people change their minds, we have competent people who can be able to execute, you know, the will of the people and carry out their mandate in the benefit of the country. And that's how I believe. I'm an independent person in terms of I'm self-sustained. I have my own business. For 37 years, I've been running my own business. I've employed 170 people in my entire life, right? So I'm not dependent on Labour Party. Has never given me anything ever in my life, right? Never have I gotten $1 from Labour Party. And I can say that publicly and loudly. Never. I never asked for anything, never got anything. I've been appointed to a position recently. People say it's the Labour Party. It's a government position, right? Some small thing. But I wasn't I functioning before that? So that to me is red herring. Right. I am an independent thinker. I'm not closed-minded. Members of the opposition be in Parliament. I think we need to have a healthy balance in Parliament. We have some people from the opposition and some who represent the government. That's just how I think it should work. So I hope I've said enough here.
Did you go to the concert? Did you go to the concert on Saturday night?
Yes, I did. It was amazing. Now, Darren, I'll be honest with you. At about 11 o'clock,
yes,
my car was parked inside the baton. I was tired, so I went in the car. Went to my car, said I'm gonna just sit down for a minute and go back. I fell asleep in my car. When I woke up, all the cars were gone. The lights were on. I was like, what happened? People cleaned grounds, they won police.
Right.
And it's on the next morning I found there was a shooting. I didn't hear it at all because I was sleeping through it.
But here's my question to you. The government appointed Massacre as a cultural ambassador.
Uh-huh.
To the best of my knowledge, Massacre, well, one, he's a dancehall artist. He doesn't sing music that is considered to be uniquely Antiguan, an exponent of our unique culture. And he also, the lyrics and the type of music that he promotes or that he sings, one would argue is sort of gangster, gunshot, pow-pow, you know what I mean. Do you think that that was the best decision? Because many people say what happened on Saturday night is proof positive that that was a poor decision. Do you have a view on that?
I'm going to be honest with you, Darren. I don't know who Massacre is. I never heard of him until y'all talk about him recently. I don't listen to that type of music, so I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I've never tried to listen to his music. Okay. I never heard him sing. I just hear it on Facebook. People say Massacre was appointed. Oh. Whatever the reason they use to make him an ambassador, to decide, I have no feelings about that. From what I'm hearing is that the incident was gang related.
I was just wondering if you had an opinion. Right.
Well, I don't have an opinion because I don't know anything about him. I don't know. I guess they think that he has reach. I think they think he has reach, and I think his reach, if he can mention Antigua's name several times, I don't know. I can't tell you. I never get into those discussions.
I got you. Yeah. I don't know if Jonathan, you want to answer that question real quick? Massacre. What do you think? I don't believe you listen to Massacre. Well, yes, but I didn't have the massacre question, and it came to mind as you were responding. And by the way, you did get 15 minutes to respond. You actually got a little more than 15 minutes.
I
So
don't think so. I
it's
don't
been
think so.
balanced and equalized. But
I don't think so.
yes, Dr. Ray. Yes, Dave. Anyway, Jonathan, you have 2 minutes. Do you agree with the decision to appoint Massacre as a cultural ambassador? Yes or no, and why?
Dave, well, honestly, I can see the negative repercussions, and also, I mean, the point is to be made that he is a known artist. So, as you said, mentioning Antigua's name at home and abroad would bring exposure to the country. But the thing is, do we have to go to him to get that exposure? Are there other individuals who are available whose content or the art form that they put out into the public properly represents our values, our culture that we want to impart to our young people? And that is what is being brought into question by you here, Darren. And that is something that we have to consider as a people. I'm not going to make it, this is the worst thing ever since sliced bread. But I'm just saying, going forward, it's always best. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having non-nationals as ambassadors, because they help to bring eyes and so on to our different culture, products, and etc. that we have here. But the content and the type of, I'm not going to say the genre, because there's nothing wrong with dancehall at all. And yes, I do listen to dancehall music. But the content of the songs and the art form that he puts out in the public.
Mommy, they hear you.
Hey, I'm a grown man, Darren.
Anyway,
I'm a grown man.
But
I'm just saying, the content is what we have to consider, and that's what we have to really call into question. And just finally, quickly,
understood.
Dr. Dave Ray called into question in terms of the unity of our party. Every party has unity issues. I'm sure we all remember vividly the very public spat between the Honorable Chet Green and Honorable Gaston Brown in very recent times. And we had the whole stories to go through there, and how the Prime Minister said that Chet don't dare raise his head, and all of these different things, and this and that, the public infighting. Of course, as election time happened, as Dave Ray says he's doing, the Labour Party has done. They coalesce and they present a united front. That is only the job of a political organization. So every party has its problems. Every party has its issues. Do you believe everybody in the Labour Party is happy that UPP persons are going over and just taking their positions? No, they will never say that publicly, never. But I'm sure Mr. Basil Peters, sure, had his eye on St. Mary's North, and I can go on and on and on. I mean, of all these different... I'm looking at Regis Burton, who was an excellent candidate for All Saints West. I can go on and on and on. Or the Labour Party persons for All Saints East who would have served better than...
We gotta go.
Jonathan,
but I'm just saying, there's division within every party. And to present that this would not be genuine.
2 minutes.
So Dave, you have a
minutes
great
now.
evening.
Jonathan.
Okay, behave.
Jonathan.
All right.
Jonathan,
Anyway, listen.
hold on. He said something about Chet. Hold on, he said something about the Prime Minister and Chet. You never heard Chet respond to anything. You don't know about that. You just hear the Prime Minister said what he had to say. The Prime Minister,
Dr. Ray, I have the recordings from WTP Media.
Yes.
People radio station on my phone right now. I can send you WhatsApp with Chet Green responding. With Chet Green and Gaston responding back and forth point at WTP. That is publicly available information.
Sir.
Wait,
You have not heard Chet respond to the Prime Minister in any way negative. When you see them together, they hug, they talk on the phone, they communicate quite well together. So I would not take that
because
right? No.
But
what
Dr.
you guys
Dr. Ray, hold on. Dr. Ray.
Yes.
Dr. Ray. To be fair to Mr. Wenner, he has, I understand the point that he's making, and I think you understand the point that he's making.
No, I don't.
And yes, Mr. Green, hold on.
This unity.
Mr. Green may not have said anything publicly, but that does not mean that Jonathan doesn't have a point.
But
Mr. Green did not say anything because he's an effective chairman, and he does a good job of keeping his party together, even at the expense of him saying things in his own defense. I'm just saying.
But what I'm
believe
saying,
me,
I'm not disputing a fight in parties. They're fighting families. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when they have fights, let people leave. People defect because of fights. We have fights. We don't defect. We stay home. And yes, everybody in the party may not be happy that from UP is coming over, but we know, we understand we're an institution, and we know how to again and say, you know what, this decision for us. I'm going to have, but just although he wanted, many of us wanted to have it, he polled very low in the polling. He polled low. Jim polled higher than he did. That's what it is. Gaston works by numbers, not by fees, right? So that's one of the things we do. We do numbers, we do strategy, links. And so that's what I'm saying is, Bazu may have wanted it, but he did not poll very high. I'm just sorry to tell you the decision. I was on the poster. That's a report that I got.
What
So-
about Miss London?
She
What
polled,
about Miss London in,
she polled
Miss
higher
London?
than, she polled higher than Bazu.
Oh, okay. All right. But she didn't poll higher than Dr. Benjamin?
Yeah, she had, yes. No. And there was such a distance between them. I don't remember the numbers, but
Okay.
whatever it is, she was like 50 Dr. Benjamin, and he was like 20 points behind Dr. Benjamin. So there's a big gap.
Okay.
Very wide gap there. Yeah.
All right.
So that's
Folks,
polling numbers.
It's been good. It's been good. I said I was trying to keep this show to less than an hour. I don't know who was trying to fool.
I don't know.
But I think,
with
Darren,
with
you have to take into consideration the technical difficulty we
Yeah.
had to, that's contributed to it as well, you know? So.
Yes. Yeah.
It did.
And
And I accept that, but I also have to-
Jonathan being long-winded, that's a part of it too, so you know. But Jonathan, I hope
Well, that
Jonathan,
makes, some will say
hold
that
on.
makes two of you.
yeah, Jonathan, I hope
Yeah.
we can shake hands. Maybe not, you know, I have tears on my shoulder, so we'll shake hands before the election and keep it moving.
Oh,
You didn't hear that
Anyway,
part.
listen, the two of y'all might be together on election night. The two of y'all might be together election night,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, actually,
Election
I was
night, Tonight and Media's having a live.
asked tonight to be on ABS, but I told him I already signed up for you, so we'll see.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know. ABS must have about 50 people. I don't know.
Well,
What's up
you know,
with that.
Angelica,
Anyway, the point is,
Angelica is here, so she asked me tonight.
oh, okay, very well. Anyway, tell your colleague, tell everyone good night in your respective camps. I'm sure I'm gonna get some WhatsApps or their WhatsApps. They're waiting on me. I've been kind of checking my phone in between to see what folks are saying. But listen, I want to wish both of you gentlemen all the very best. Thanks for a spirited debate tonight and for a spirited campaign for the next 3
Cam went
days.
home to sleep already. They went to go and sleep.
No, they're out in Bethesda. They can't possibly be home already. I'm sure they're out in Bethesda. But yes, gentlemen, thanks so much and all the very best. We hopefully will link up again on Thursday night to follow the election returns at the Twin Island Media's watch party, which is just around the corner from me. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to, seeing what the people of Antigua and Barbuda have done in their righteous judgment. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Be safe and God bless. Thank you so much for being a part of our discussion tonight. I see there was quite a bit of chatter in the chat on YouTube and Facebook. I'll get to it and acknowledge. Have a good night, everybody, and be safe.
Bye-bye. Take care, guys.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.